This is another Disney podcast production.
Hey guys, it's episode 20 for the week of May 14th. This is another Disney podcast.
Hey-o!
Hey!
We made it through the opening.
We did it.
How we did.
It was only a couple times. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Hey,
Hey, welcome to Sweep This House.
I didn't say ooh.
You didn't.
I didn't.
That's
Are you proud?
Christmas miracle.
That is.
Even though
That
it's
is.
May. How's everybody doing?
Tired, but I'm great.
Yeah, tired, but here.
Yeah, it's Wednesday that definitely felt like a Monday.
Yeah,
That's all right.
I would agree. I'll give it that.
Twas
agree.
a week.
'Twas a week.
Everybody's now hoarding gas, and I was waiting for the meme to land of I wanted somebody pouring gasoline on toilet paper and like lighting it on fire. I
love
feel
it.
like that would be the best.
Why didn't
Way
we
to-
think of that?
2021.
Well, I mean, people are taking the gas and putting it in plastic bags, apparently.
As long as you double bag it, you're fine.
which if you can't tell, that is the world's easiest bomb to make.
Yeah, it's a pretty great
so-
bomb.
Yeah.
No one was harmed in the making of this segment.
No. Yet. Continuing.
Let's head over to Sweep the House.
Sweep it.
We are so honored to be a part of Magic of the Mouse every week. And fun fact, I got an email this week. I forgot to tell you from the producer
what?
of what is it called?
I
Magic
said
of the
ooh.
Mouse. And so right now we're on Saturdays and Sundays, and I think we're gonna hop in on Tuesdays as well.
Love that.
So it might be 3 times a week. You might get your weekend fun and then a little bit of Tuesday action too.
Yes.
Don't know what that means. It sounded really
I don't
weird.
know what that means. That's weird.
Yes, it is. And as always, we're proudly sponsored by Park Sense because I'm going to do a better job on the ad. And if you're missing your theme park, there's no better way than to bring home some theme park scented candles. Probably the first time I got that right. Or wax melts or room sprays. It's phenomenal. Tonight is yet again, because it's just my favorite one, Fiji Splash. And so that is modeled solely after in Soarin' when they're on the big boats just past the flyover of the island, and that scent that goes through, that's exactly what it smells like.
I will say it is quite magical to walk past your office every day and smell the passage.
No, that's Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. Oh, is it
Yes.
Haunted Mansion?
Even our managing producer walked by. He was like, "It always smells so good over here." I was like, "It's Haunted Mansion." I should have
love
gave him the ad. Hey, it's from Park Sense, and if you listen to our podcast, you can get a code for 20% off, which is DISPOD20. That is DISPOD20.
And then he'll tell you to go to Universal.
Yeah, I am interested in the ET smell. Everybody talks about that.
Yeah,
and that's
man.
what they started with.
Yeah.
Anyway, house swept.
House swept. Pretty easy.
We
Time
do
to
have
snooze.
a fun show tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to have some old guests. Oh, really? That's not fair. I mean, they're not,
she's literally
No,
the
that's
youngest
one of
one
them
we've
is-
ever
She's
had.
literally a child.
but they've been on before, so it's like they're like an old shoe. I'm sure Troy and Mimi are going to love that.
I bet they're going to love the fact you just called them old shoes.
Congratulations, Disney Assembly.
Hey, we'll record this over again, and we'll cut this part out. It's going to be great. All right, let's go. Dude, a lot of stuff happening in the parks.
Yeah.
Let's fly down to Brandon's house and talk about them.
Well, this week's been busy when it comes to parks news. A lot of stuff. I mean, they had that whole halfway to Halloween thing. And,
I don't know why I did
oh,
that.
my. And lots of COVID changes and all this kind of stuff. So I know my first story. I actually have 2 stories this week. They're 2 minor stories. I'm cheating.
What?
I know,
Me too.
right?
What?
So here's one of mine. Disney is taking the trash cans. It's so minor. They're taking the trash cans and basically making them to the way they were before COVID, and that is with the flap down. I have to say, this is one thing that I was really hoping was gonna stay post pandemic. They have all they have them all like wrapped up right now, and they're just sitting on the inside of the trash can. It's so like that push flap is so
toxic.
Yeah, it is.
Gross. It's gross.
It's like, let me get my hand sanitizer out after I use this trash can. It's so nasty.
You can never not go to a crowded pre-COVID, I don't know, fast food restaurant and not push them and get like a handful of like ketchup and mustard in people's. It's always so gross.
No, that's what happens every single time, and that's why I don't like those things. I'm telling you what, like nothing's worse than getting your Mickey pretzel with cheese, and you're like, I don't want to carry the top around, and then like I take the top of the cheese off, I go and I throw it away, and I'm like, crap, I gotta get my hand sanitizer out. And now
now that the lids are back down, you can take the top part of that cheese because it's sticky and just stick it on the lid.
It's like when the kids used to stick their gum on the wall at school. Just stick it right there on the trash can.
True.
Yeah, it's super gross.
Yeah. So that's one, it's a minor disappointment. I mean, I was reading up on some comments and somebody was like, well, I will say I did walk past a trash can the other day and there were a bunch of bees and it did smell like a dirty diaper. And I'm going to be honest, like when you walk past a trash can, do you really expect it to smell like roses to begin with? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's not.
Fine.
I'm really like, this is
I will
nasty.
be
Like
fine.
just like get rid of the flaps.
There should be just a magical elf that takes your trash and disposes of it for you anyway.
Right. Or I don't know, an animatronic trash can that goes around Tomorrowland. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they did that.
That existed.
That was canceled.
And it got canceled.
Cancel culture.
Yes. Okay. Staying in Tomorrowland, because I just made a Tomorrowland joke. I'm really excited to see that the electronics are being installed at the Tron canopy. So like for all the lights. And so I really think that, and this is kind of speculation, but I really feel like Disney is trying to get all of the thematic elements completed on the outside of Tron before they really start to finish the inside. And I mean, we'll see. I don't know where this will lead, but I mean, I'd love to see the outside of Tron done because
I
construction's
agree.
ugly.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're trying to at least get the outside done so that at nighttime they can light it up. Like it'll still look cool even if it's not running.
Yeah.
If it's in its, almost finished pre-lit condition, it's going to look way better than with that orange stuff on the track and scaffolding and a crane. So I agree. I would agree with you there.
Well, I mean, I think it could be really good to see the crane gone before the 50th. Maybe they won't be finished with the ride by the 50th, and by maybe I mean they won't be finished with the ride by the 50th by the time it starts. But I mean, the crane should be gone by then. I feel maybe I don't know. We'll find out.
Let's hope.
Yep.
Hope.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the 50th, some unsettling news came out this week. 2 of the 4 parks are already booked as far as reservations are concerned for the actual 50th anniversary, October 1st. Epcot and Magic Kingdom are fully booked. No reservations available at this time. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that changes. Hopefully we get some sort of capacity increase between now and then. That opens up some more reservations. But I was kind of bummed to see my annual pass isn't up for renewal yet. So I didn't even have the option to try to get a reservation for that time yet. So I was kind of bummed to see that 2 of the 4 parks, 2 of the ones that I probably would go to on that day, are full. So that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I will say, I am furiously looking for a Magic Kingdom Park Pass. So, yeah, hopefully they increase the capacity soon because I will jump on that train really fast.
Well, I'll try to remain as spoiler-free as I can, but we are not a team of Disney fans that particularly well, really ever use a travel agent, right? I mean, so
Right.
that's just, I mean, we're self-proclaimed know-it-alls when it comes to Walt Disney World. So we're like, we could do this on our own. However, I wonder if it's, even though like we've all got our trip booked and we're staying on property, I wonder if it would behoove us to reach out to a travel agent, even though we've got our trip booked. And, because like obviously while we're there, we could, try to get some help with some dining reservations. I just feel like travel agents are so more in tune, and they're going to know as soon as that bump happens and can reach out to us or anybody else that has booked through that particular travel agent. And I feel like that might be in our best interest. I mean, yeah, I think it'd be smart. Yeah. We actually have some news about a travel agent, but we're a couple of weeks away from that. But we have a source, so we know who we can reach out to.
Yeah.
So I will talk to him and see what that looks like, so we could be, because once that bump happens and if you guys can hop on immediately and know it, that would greatly increase your chances to be in the kingdom of magic hanging out with me.
That it would.
Yeah, for sure. And, speaking to that, excuse me, something that may help that out, Disney updated its website today to indicate that while there are still temporary adjustments to its theme parks promoting the physical distancing, the resort will reduce physical distancing measures for guests across many areas with a gradual phased approach. Yeah. So what they've put out really is they're still going to require 6 feet in between parties at dining locations, merchandise stores, and rest areas where you can take off your mask. But it leads me to believe that they're going to shorten the 6 feet in the lines. It's going to lead me to believe that maybe you'll be able to stand closer for nighttime spectaculars and fireworks displays. So I got to believe that with the physical distancing shrinking, that we are going to start to see a capacity increase, which then would bode well for hopefully getting a reservation. So that's cool. I mean, it's following suit with the other parks in Orlando. Universal already did it. SeaWorld already did it. So Disney, Disney always takes the safe approach, but it's nice to see that they're following suit now, especially since, in Orange County, I think the mayor said when we get to a certain level of people that have been vaccinated, I think right now we're hovering around 50%. In this county. So once it gets above 50, we can go to phase 3, which is, I think, just masks indoors. So that's
hopeful. What happens when we get to DEFCON 4?
DEFCON 4
is that a different conversation?
It's just a free-for-all. It's like the purge.
Well, depending on what day you go to the park and what time, it kind of is a free-for-all.
I agree. I agree.
I am surprised that in the queues they're going to change it, but I mean, I guess that makes sense. But it's funny, Troy, who we're going to have on tonight, I randomly caught him a week or so ago on an Instagram live, and we ended up chatting for like 40 minutes. I think he posted it on their YouTube channel, and we talked about this, and he said something. He was like, "Isn't 3 feet kind of like how people typically stand around each other anyway?" And I thought, yeah, like at the grocery store in line or even in fast food, but definitely not at Disney parks.
Definitely
at Disney park, I mean, they love to. No. I mean, you had cast members that were constantly, packing you into areas like sardines. So, I don't know that we'll ever get back to that, or if we do, it'll be maybe even multi-years before that happens. But I could be wrong. I mean, maybe once herd immunity is happen, they'll look at this no differently than the flu. No idea. I'm definitely not a scientist or a doctor, but I think Troy's right. I mean, it's like I don't ever really stand closer to 3 feet from anybody in life, other than when I was on vacation at a Disney park. So.
I mean, like the thing that they'll actually be able to use, like that utilize when they reduce it to 3 feet, is they have all those switchbacks. And, some of them are skipped and you have to go around, or some of them have a bunch of plexiglass and you have to go like around the plexiglass, and it's kind of like, to be honest, it's a little bit cramped, and honestly, I don't really love it. So hopefully that'll be reduced a little bit, the amount of plexiglass there is on property right now. Plus it's ugly. I mean, I'm thinking about like Frozen Ever After. If you're not sitting in the front row, you cannot see on that ride. It's not a great experience, but I mean, I don't know. So I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. Dave, you're right. When it comes to like the 3 feet standard, I think that Disney really can utilize that well. I think 3 feet will be a good amount of space, even though like 6 feet is glorious, but honestly, it feels overkill sometimes, especially in this time when COVID is winding down. It's at its lowest numbers in 10 months. I mean, it could be good to go back to 3 feet, and like even though 3 feet isn't like the standard of what it used to be, like 3 feet is still a lot. Like if I were to bring a yardstick to the Magic Kingdom, like that's definitely not what it was before.
No.
So
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's
So-
still a significant amount of distance, especially
Yeah.
in queues for
yeah.
sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
you wouldn't be able to walk through a queue without accidentally grazing somebody's hand. Come on, it's true.
Would you like to go out on a date with me?
And then it's just awkward. Like, come on, you just know how it is. It's okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Fun stuff.
Creepy.
So we talked earlier, or somebody brushed over some of the fun things that are happening. So we would probably really haven't. I think I've talked about that Haunted Mansion is my favorite attraction at any park. Doesn't matter which one it is, of the three that I've been to at least. So it's no secret that I love Halloween, and it's not because like I'm not a dress up person. I've never, it's just, we have kids and our kids really get into it and they love trick or treating around the neighborhood. And the very first time we took our daughter was in September, and we met the Palms there, and Brandon and Krista, and we did Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. So it's always just been a favorite. So I was super excited to see them bringing it back in a different form. And to be honest with you, now we have to see the execution, but based on the announcement, I am ridiculously more excited about this than I ever was in Mickey's Not So Scary. So what they've announced is they're going to call it Boo Bash. And so it is going to be an after hours event. And if you've never been to an after hours event, I cannot recommend them enough.
Yeah.
It's literally
So
like, let me put it to you this way. I won't, because I could go on and on and on and talk about this. I've done 3 of them, 2 of them at Magic Kingdom, 1 of them at Animal Kingdom. And let me talk about Magic Kingdom specifically because that's where the Boo Bash is going to take place. I never waited for an attraction except for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for 10 minutes during the entire night.
Yeah.
Which is 2 to 3 hours. Plus, they let you get in the park at 7 p.m. and the event doesn't even start. So a lot of nights it's going to start 9:30 and go to 12:30, or 9 to 12. Somewhere in there, there's going to be different nights where it's going to range a little bit. But it's a 3-hour event, regardless of when it happens. You can get into the park at 7 p.m. So you won't even need to buy a park ticket for that day. So if you're going during that time, that's one great way to spend your afternoon at the hotel, swim in the pool, do a monorail crawl, just do something else, and then go to the parks, and you'll still get 5-6 hours, but you'll ride whatever you want. Now,
more.
To be fair, there's only 20 attractions that's going to be open. Tickets go on sale next month. They haven't announced a day or a price, but I will say, if you are, and we don't know if there's going to be any type of special pricing for annual pass holders. So they have not mentioned any of this. My guess is probably going to be no, because we got a company that's trying to recover. But if they do, typically, especially if you were farther out from the date of Halloween, obviously the closer and closer you get, and I think weeknights are cheaper than weekends, but I think it was the cheapest it was $99 for a pass holder. Yeah. And then all the way up to your busy night was like $130, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
And even as somebody who has an annual pass holder, and I know a lot of you are thinking, gosh, you're paying $139 to go. Do it. I'm sorry. It's worth it just because it's an empty park.
Well, it's a park day replacement.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, you don't get shows, but if you're going to ride stuff, this is a park day replacement. Go and I don't know, take a pool day or take a resort day.
Exactly.
Take a Disney Springs day. Take a day off, and then just go. Go to the park. You won't have to worry about a park reservation because you have the ticket, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
So
3 things to consider if you're thinking about this, there are two giant gaping holes that are not going to be happening. One of them is there will be no fireworks and there will be no parades. They will have the cavalcade, so I'm assuming, and we all know what happens when you do that, but my guess is, based on how they've done all these other cavalcades, it'll be just the Halloween themed ones, but just one at a time. You won't get that whole 2 parade per night. And so think about that. Whatever they're going to charge, I mean, they could charge $150 a ticket. There's no ttelling what they're going to charge, but there still will be candy stations.
I will say, I know they did these in 2019, but they did. I never got to go to one. I was about to go to one, but I didn't. The Disney Villains After Hours with Maleficent.
I hope they include something.
Come on, bring Maleficent out.
Hopefully.
Come on. Yeah.
Now, if you do any research on after hours events, one of the other things that was incredible about those nights is it was also all the free bottled beverages you could drink, anything that when you walk up to one of those portable carts, ice cream carts, anything that's in there was as much as you could eat, and popcorn as much as you can eat. Now, again, those are your typical after hours events, not COVID related. So there's no telling if any of these things, but when you add up all of those, I'm not going to lie to you. I've gone to one of these with Matthew. He went home that night with 9 Diet Cokes in his backpack. I am not kidding.
Come on, guys. If they're free, I'm going to walk out and put them in my hotel fridge.
Yeah. Yep. There's no judgment, man. I think I ate 6 Mickey bars at the last one I went to.
Come on.
So there's no judgment for me.
Next time I go, I'm going to bring a drawstring backpack and walk up to 15 popcorn carts and just continually dump them in. That's all I'm going to do next time. I'm very much looking forward to that.
I'm getting my ticket price back in Diet Coke.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what?
$40
I was
easily.
like, how can I get my money's worth? And
that's literally what he said.
I'm not trying to be like a cheapskate or anything, but these things are $4 each. Yeah. If I'm walking out with 9, that's $36 worth.
Yeah, you got it back. You got
a third of your money back right there.
Right?
That's right. And
now,
one thing
go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was going to say one thing I did see in there was that they are still mentioned that physical distancing and masks will still need to be worn. That may be them, obviously, before the announcement today. That may be them just putting it in there because it's always easy to remove that. But I thought that was interesting. It does start in August, so that's not really a long time from now.
August 10.
I could still see masks being needed in August, but I think as we get towards Halloween time, this thing may go no masks outside, which would be super cool.
Anything
I'm going to miss the
change.
bougie you.
Anything can change. Again, we are reading the internet just like any of you can do. The biggest rumor mill out there is that November, people are speculating that November could be if Disney were to take the mask mandate away in 2021, November seems to be a prime month. I don't know what the metric is behind that. I don't know why people are thinking that. I guess because Disney has said during this event, you will have to socially distance and wear masks. Maybe they're thinking, okay, well, afterwards, then they'll maybe remove it. But to me, I'm like, Disney has to say that up front, and that can change at any time, right? I mean, so I just fingers crossed that it happens this year. But I'm optimistically hopeful, but I'm not counting on it.
Well, I mean, you look at that, you have to wear a mask, that's something they have to say up front. You know what else they have to say up front? A ticket doesn't guarantee admission.
That's true. That is a fair statement.
So, I mean,
true.
We'll see.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Brandon.
I was going to say one other thing I was wondering about that is obviously with a capped capacity limit, are we going to have a party that is, say by that time, 50% of what they would normally allow in an after hours event? Or is it going to be, just the full 50% capacity? So if you think about a normal after hours event, we've all been to them. There's no one there. Now imagine that at only 50% capacity.
I can't even process that.
You're not waiting for anything. Not even Seven Dwarfs Mine
Dude,
Train.
like how there were, like Matthew can attest to this. There were sections of park that we went in and didn't see people.
Yeah.
And this was pre-COVID. Like these, I'm telling you, if these numbers are going to be like this, these events are phenomenal because it's like you have the place to yourself. And there was countless attractions that you got. Like I remember Haunted Mansion. We got on the the Little Mermaid attraction. We would walk in there and there was just the cast member. Like there was nobody else in front of us, nobody else behind us. And you just get, it was like we were the only ones there. That's why it's worth it, especially for the 5 hours that you get, you know, the couple hours you get before the park closes, plus the time of the event.
I mean, my favorite one is being one group of, like, we were the only ones in the train for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and there's 15 trains. I love it. That's good. And then to cap on that, as excited as I sounded about that, I think I'm more excited about the thing that they also announced at the Halfway to Halloween event that they, I don't know, was it an event? It was just a day of announcements. Was a self-guided tour of the most mystifying Disney park attractions around the world by the Muppets. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm going to be completely honest. I grazed over this as I was flipping through stories on social media, and I glazed at looking at it. My eyes lit up. I went back. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent. Before I went back and read this, do you guys know what I thought? What?
I thought that the Haunted Mansion attraction at Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World was going to get a Muppets overlay
That's what I
on
thought
the ride.
was gonna happen.
I almost peed in my pants. I got so excited.
Well, it's when I saw the Muppets Haunted Mansion special that's coming to Disney Plus. Like that's. I didn't think Disney Plus. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what we're getting instead of
Nightmare Before
Yes,
Holiday."
I lost my mind.
I was so excited, and then it was like Disney Plus. I was like, "Oh, but yay! Oh, but yay!" I'm so excited.
So yeah, there's a couple of things that are happening. There's going to be a special on Disney Plus, but there's also going to be strictly on YouTube. What I just mentioned is all of the Haunted Mansion, Mystic Manor, Phantom Manor, all of the different ones all over the world. It's going to be a self-guided tour via YouTube. So both of these launch in the fall. There's no actual dates, but I love this thought of like including the Muppets because I felt like that was so random. Yeah. And but then I was like, oh, what a perfect fit to have those in. So I'm just beside myself, and I'm just a YouTube fanatic anyway. I'm always on there. So I was like, it'll be like interactive, and you'll be able to touch and I guess guide your way through different video sections that they'll have in this. So stupid excited about that.
I mean, all I want is the stretching room narrated by all of the Muppets. Not just one. All of them.
All of them.
Including Beaker.
This is Kermit
Mostly
the Frog
Beaker.
here.
Me, 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 me.
Now it's like who can do other voices.
Okay.
That's all I got, man. Those are my
all
two
I
jams
got.
right there.
That's what I got too. That's
Two jams.
That's good snooze.
Guess that's
It
better
was.
than one jam.
Well, now it's time for a special segment we called Let's Bring in Our Guests.
Well, I am very excited about our guest this evening.
I mean, but you guys got mad at me because I said they were an oldie but a goodie.
I mean, yeah, you also said they were like the old shoe or something like that.
They're like an old
I think
shoe.
you may have
What
called
does
them
that mean?
shoes.
What does that even mean?
I don't
They're
even know
like-
what that means.
They're like they fit like an old shoe. It's like it's comfortable being around them.
Yeah, but typically when you talk about old shoes, that just means th're raggedy.
Well,
That's so mean.
Well, now I feel uncomfortable.
Well, okay. Well, we have some awesome brand new shoes that are great. So welcome, Troy and Mimi. We are so happy to have you guys back on the show.
Thank you. I guess I'm the oldie. That makes you the goodie.
I guess so, but I feel like the shoe comment was necessary because of the Shrek comment.
Yeah, like a new pair of shoes, we leave blisters where on your.
There we go. Yeah, so
Yes.
that's great.
There you go.
Anyway,
It's great to be back. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I mean, what is this your third? Is this your third time?
I think
I don't
so.
know. I think if we appear 2 more times, we get a free sub or.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, we went to
We'll buy you a Mickey bar.
What did we go to? The Monsters Inc. laugh floor. You know how they have the camera that pops around. So your free sub will definitely come from Brandon, because one of the times we went, the camera went on him and he was like, and it said free churros for everyone. So Brandon is your hookup for your free sub.
I got churros, I got subs, I got everything.
I know a guy.
Okay, so we wanted to have you back on. We had talked the first couple of times, like definitely about some Disney Plus stuff. So we'll catch up with that in a minute. But what's more exciting to me is I want to know like where you guys are at with Disneyland, because I know that like that's considered your home park. Now you are out of the state of California, but I mean, so it's back open. Gosh, it was closed for what, 14 plus months?
14 months.
Are you guys excited? Do you have a trip like on standby when they open it up to out-of-state residents? Where are y'all's heads on this?
I think the trip we were going to make in 2020 is still a possibility at some point. I think it's just a matter of seeing where things play out.
Yeah, so there was a trip that we had planned in the summer of 2020, and it was a road trip that ended in Disneyland. Like, it wasn't a Disney trip, but Disney happened to fit into the itinerary of this trip. I don't know if that full thing is going to happen, but we are planning to make our way back sooner rather than later. We are planning to go on vacation in July. Whether Disney fits into that, that's still not totally figured out, because as of right now, the park isn't even open to non-California residents. So it's kind of like a yes and no, but we are like ready to be back.
Yeah, I think we're ready. I've tried to bring up the conversation of maybe a Disney World trip at some point, but I don't know. I think it's coming soon. I'll just put it that way. I don't know when, but it's definitely something we're planning on doing when it fits into our schedules. So
yeah, for sure.
If you go to Disneyland, we'll meet you there. If you go to Disney World, we'll meet you there.
Either
We'll
way.
just go.
Yeah.
We're just going to go.
We're just looking for excuses to go to
If you guys are
Disneyland.
going to be there, we're just going to show up.
appreciate
Mimi's like,
it.
great. Now they're part of our vacations. Wonderful.
No, that sounds so fun. Like, actually, that sounds like so much fun.
yeah. We're definitely going to go back. I think it's just a matter of figuring out how it fits into everything. And
Sure.
Yeah.
Mimi will get her vaccines pretty soon,
And my brother.
and her younger brother is eligible to get vaccines now too, so they're both going to take care of that, and we'll see how things play out over the summer, and we'll plan things out as they come up. But I do know we're jonesing to make a family trip, and we're looking at either Disney World or Disneyland as one of those options.
And I think
so
Disney
fun.
is like ready to make the money back that they lost. And so I feel like once Avengers Campus opens, it will be open to everyone.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
It'll be open like shortly after to everyone. Like, I just don't think Avengers Campus will be open very long, if at all, only to California residents. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like, I think
Matthew-
all have to come back at once.
Yep.
Matthew, I know we've joked about this, but
Yeah.
like if it opens
I'm
before.
dead serious.
I know if it so we've talked about like hopefully next year things will be back to normal, and the three of us, because Brandon's yet to Brandon and his wife have never been to Disneyland,
Yeah,
and so we
never
talked
been to that
about
one.
let's go next year for D23, assuming that that's going to look somewhat normal. I don't know, because that's a huge event with thousands of people in single giant rooms, so I don't even know if the world will even look like that moving forward with conferences and whatnot. But I don't see myself waiting that long. I don't think I have that kind of patience.
No, I'm dead serious. I want to do it.
Yeah. So thankfully, like we've been able to go the past couple of years pre-COVID for the company that we work with now. Their studio was based in LA for like 10 years. So they have lots of talent and stuff that we still partner and work with. So we'll fly out there usually in the spring and do like a big filming with some of them out there. And so we always would, Matthew went one time, I went one time. And so we would always, our boss would just switch who goes. And so we always would tack on an extra day and just go to Disneyland.
Yep.
And so now that didn't happen this year. So we're like, dang it. But obviously it didn't matter. The park wasn't open anyway. So anyway, yeah, we're excited for the Californians at least. I know that was, I mean, I'm still like, I cannot believe it was closed for that long. That is, it's
so
hard to
weird.
believe. It just seems like it's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And, when it did open, I know I watched some of the videos of people getting in there pretty early on, or actually that first day. And I don't know. I mean, not even being there watching what was going on it made me feel great for those people, to be honest with you. It was pretty emotional, and it was great. I mean, if you love Disneyland and Disney World, we've been to both places. They're just different, not better or worse. It's just different. And I think the intimacy of Disneyland, because of its size and the challenges of designing the magic in a smaller footprint, you don't have to be there long to really feel like you're part of a special group when you're there, as opposed to one of just an enormous mass of people that are also having a wonderful time. So seeing those people get back in the park that day was it was pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
I do have something to add to that, though. Like, it's kind of irrelevant, but it's like kind of on the same topic at the same time. If we do end up making our way out to California, y'all are in California, right? I'm not crazy.
No, they're in Virginia.
I thought y'all were in what is wrong with me?
You don't know geography.
No, I do know geography. I just got you guys and Bob's and Banthas mixed up because I know they're in California, and I'm just like very...
they're in Virginia.
So it's such a long... It's the end of semester, okay? Like, we're doing state testing and finals. Like, I don't have the energy
Total
to keep
grace
track of
extended.
how these people lives. Anyway, if we do make it out to California, would y'all want to record like a live episode together?
Yeah.
We'll definitely do
Where do we
something
sign?
You had me at did you? And then I was like, yep.
It's just fun. We're going to get out there soon, and I know soon is a relative term, but we're really eager to go back when it's the right time for us to go back.
It's like I said this before. It's like having it open, like whether I'm there or not, or planning on going or not, or whatever. It's like seeing the pictures and the videos and like having it just be there is like a sense of comfort and normalcy for me. And so it's like being able to like pull up pictures of people at Disney, or like pull up the like recent POVs of like whatever refurbishments. It's like it's comforting because it's at least there. And when it was closed, it obviously wasn't. And now that it's open, it like at least feel a little bit more normal. I feel a little bit more connected to it because I can, even if I'm not going or am there right now, I can still like see it and know that it's actually still happening. I
think an interesting phenomenon at Disneyland that I am suspecting is going to happen is because they were closed for so long, and they rolled out all these protocols to reopen. And I think things are just going to get more open so much faster that in some ways they're going to sit around and go, we waited all this time, we put in all these precautions, and now they're like gone.
Right.
So it's like, we did all this for what? No, we're going to keep those precautions in place because if we're going to be closed for 400 days, darn it, we're going to have those precautions in there to make it worthwhile. So, but I do think one thing that's been interesting since they've opened are the reports, because now that some people have gone back multiple times, sort of the euphoria of that first day wears off. Yeah. And then now they're getting a little bit, not critical, but they're paying attention to the little things like, is there enough places for me to sit to eat? Are there enough food options available? And some people are reporting that there aren't, and there are more people coming into the park. And so now, Disney trying to catch up, which I know maybe we've talked about before. One of the values of having the reservation system is they can kind of anticipate exactly how many people they're going to need to serve that day.
Right.
So I do know that Disneyland has started to adjust and open up new restaurants, or announcing when new restaurants are going to be opening and stuff, because I think they're paying very close attention to the experience that people are having as they're coming back.
I mean, Walt Disney World went through the same thing. People quickly soon forget because they were only closed for 4 months or so. But Disney World went through the same. I mean, I remember the first time I went, I'm like, golly, I don't have anywhere to sit down. Like, there was nowhere to sit down. Yeah. Like, that was definitely an issue. And and it continues to be. Yeah. But definitely they've matched their staffing correctly. They've matched, and we've actually talked about this, that it would not surprise me if Disney kept this reservation system open, not in the limited capacity that it is, but at least makes you reserve a park, because it's so much easier for them to measure how many, like what they need for staffing, if they need to like fluctuate if they need to change their hours. It just makes so much more sense for them. Like you can't fault them from a business perspective to think like, because they have all this information at their fingertips and can adjust accordingly, because so many people plan for their vacations so far out. And so it'd be interesting to see. I don't see that going away, but hopefully
tickets is almost like just buying a membership.
Right.
Because I think people have to wrap their head around the idea that the definition of a ticket to Disney World or Disneyland, I guess, in some ways, probably more Disneyland, I guess, in the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
The ticket doesn't get you in anywhere. It just gives you the ability to choose when you may want to go somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
And so I know that they had talked about rolling out a new annual pass or membership plan by the end of the calendar year. I'm wondering if what they're going to do is just basically take the ticket thing that they're doing now and allowing people at a discount to buy into a bank of tickets that they can then choose up to so many reservations with their membership, right? So maybe at a certain level you get X number of reservations, at another level you get so many reservations.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to have you can come any day you want program for a little while. But the whole idea of the ticket not really getting you in the park, because I guess you can use your ticket whenever, but you can also just pick a reservation for whenever, and almost, I don't know. It's kind of like I think somebody described it on another podcast. You know, the ticket is your ability to order from the menu, but the menu is not available to you only on certain days, right? And it's just kind of, it's just awkward. I think they're going to be playing around with that and figuring out what to do with it.
And talking about tickets in a more like physical sense, I think COVID and the new guidelines are like pushing, like in Disneyland, they were still doing like the physical fast pass. Like they still had like the literal like thing you could like print out and like carry around with you. I think that's like the death of that. And then like I also think like the touch band is on its way out too. Because like
magic band,
magic band, like I think it's gonna become like all like in an app. So I just think that like
everything's gonna be
like in a like physical like literal sense. Like I just think like the whole ticket system has changed. Not even just like the like annual passes and everything, but like I just think COVID was not great for the parks, like, you know, fiscally and, you know, whatever. But like I think it also has brought in this like new like age and revolution of entertainment, and I think that the system in the long run is going to work better than what they had before, because like things would be so crowded and overwhelming. And so like if they kept the reservation system, like it might not feel as overwhelming because you're being matched to the needs of the park of the day and not just like guesstimating and having too many or not enough, you know, workers or whatever. I also think like the character, like I don't know what it's called, like where they have like the characters out because they can't meet them, you know, that should stay. That's something I would do. Like I would sit and I would like wait for like, you know, Winnie the Pooh to like go catch butterflies. You know, like that's something that I would invest my time in doing. Like, and I would rather do that than watch a parade, to be perfectly honest.
But I would just be wondering what he's trying, because there's no butterfly. What if he's just swinging a net at nothing, pretending to catch butterflies?
That's so cute. That's the point.
There's no butterflies. What's Pooh doing?
That's the point of his character.
Dad, you are not the target market.
I'm old enough. Look, Irene, Mimi doesn't notice reference. Everything in life now, to me, harkens back to something in Seinfeld. So the more I keep hearing about this reservation system, I keep thinking about that time in Seinfeld where he reserved the rental car and he got to the counter and there was no rental car. And the woman, he's like, "Well, I have a reservation." And she's like, "Yeah, but the car, we don't have the car." And he goes, "But the point of the reservation is for you to have the car, right?" So I'm waiting for someone with a reservation to go up to the park and go, "I'm sorry, you know, we don't
can't come in,
but I got a reservation," right? So
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we were talking about that earlier in the show this evening. You know, me living in Florida and being an annual pass holder, like I can't just go to the park anymore. Well, there, you know, Dave came down to visit, Matthew came down to visit. It was a struggle to get a reservation so that we could go to the park with them. So, you know, as you were talking about, you know, the ticket doesn't always get you into the park. I have a $1,000 plastic piece of, you know, in my wallet that doesn't ever get me into the park right now. And it's super frustrating. Yeah. You know, hopefully those days are behind us. But I don't see the reservation system going anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I think as soon as
they figure out like how to add the perks to the reservation system, I think it's there to stay.
Right.
Like until they figure out what to do with their annual pass holders and how to make them, be above like your average, whatever. Like I think it's gonna
once park capacity is back to regular, the only real value of a reservation system is on Disney's side for them to be more efficient in how they run the business. Because if you're open to the numbers that you can take and you're still just selling the tickets no matter what, the reservation doesn't do anything for the guest.
No.
In my opinion. No. I mean, it purely is just a benefit to Disney.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting what they roll out. And they'll roll out something look, some people will complain.
Oh, yeah.
Some people won't care. It'll be whatever it is. I mean, once you're at the park, you're not worried about all that stuff
people
anyway.
People were complaining before COVID. So, I mean, like, people are always going to find something to complain about.
Right.
That's not that it just is.
Yeah. Those are the aggravations you have when you're not there. Once you're there, you don't worry about any of that stuff.
I can't imagine like going to Disney World or Disneyland and like complaining about the way that they run their business. Like you're already there.
It happens hourly.
To said business. Why are you complaining about it? And you're having a fun time doing it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And you're like still complaining about it. Like I can't understand that. But that's a very different conversation.
Can't stand on this commercial. Commercialism is really good. Give me that Mickey bar.
One thing I just thought about, and I don't know how this hasn't been brought up, but everybody is like, Disney's going to keep the reservation system because like it gives them control over how they know when everybody's going to be in the park. But you might say they actually had more control before because they knew when you were going to be on a specific ride because they had the fast pass system.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I
mean, they measure all
I don't
that
know.
stuff. There's no doubt.
I don't know. So
there's no doubt.
Who knows?
Well, it's good. We can't wait to all meet up at a park one day together and have a Mickey bar, Dole Whip, Mickey pretzel. It's going to be great. Yeah. Okay. Yes. We thought we would do something different with you guys. One of the things that we haven't done is played kind of a Disney themed game. So we do something mostly every week that we like to call Pick One. So Pick One in its elevator pitch form is typically, we switched it up this week for you guys. Typically what it looks like is we pick 3 things that are something Disney. So it could be food related, it could be attraction related, it could be resort related. And then what we do is of those 3, we think, which one do I love the most? And why is that one worth saving? But the other 2, you can't ride, experience, eat, visit ever again. So it makes it kind of challenging. So we thought we'd make it even harder for you guys this week. How does that sound?
Welcome to the show.
What we've decided to do is instead of just pick, so again, we usually take 3 of them. You pick 1, the other 2 you can never experience, eat, enjoy, whatever again. Well, what we're going to do this week is we're going to take 4 things, but one of them has to go. The other 3 will stay. And so we thought we'd make it really nice and simple, and we thought we would choose lands at Magic Kingdom or Disneyland. I guess it works with both.
Either one.
And that is simply, we're going to look at the 4 lands. So Tomorrowland, Adventureland, Fantasyland, and Frontierland. And so now you have to pick which one gets dumped in the bottom of the lagoon, never to be experienced
Destroyed.
Again, and why. So we're all about crushing people's dreams on this segment of the show. So any questions about Pick One?
No, one's got to go. 1 out of 4. Whatever you give us, we have to
one
pick.
Is gone
do we have to pick the same one, or can we each have our own?
Oh, no.
I think we should pick the same one.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Matthew and I would pick the first one.
Yeah.
We should deliberate on that?
We should deliberate.
What if we can't come to an agreement?
Okay, then...
But you guys can pick separately.
You guys can pick separately.
Then we'll just do one and
we'll do
one.
what I said, no.
Then we'll do what you said?
Dad, you get your own, you have your own mind, you get to choose your own land.
Okay. we were talking. We were kind of going back and forth for a second there, trying to figure out what we were going to do. Yeah, because things paused for a second. So
Sure. Well, we'll let Matthew go first. We'll let Matthew pick his land that he think needs to go into the bottom of, we'll say, Rivers of America.
Okay,
So it's
I love that.
so it's Tomorrowland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, and Adventureland.
You got it.
One of those
Yep.
has to go. Got it.
Okay, my answer is, I'm pretty sure, Dave,
I know it's
yours and mine are going to be correct.
I
the
know
same.
what it is.
Yeah. My answer is Frontierland because Frontierland is freaking boring.
Whoa!
End of done. End of game. Like that's it. No
Okay,
more.
that's a little
Come
harsh.
on. No,
That's harsh.
no, I mean it is. Well, I love Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain, but like the idea of like adventure. Like, sorry, my real debate was like Adventureland or Frontierland, but it really wasn't a debate because adventure sounds like super awesome. Old West doesn't sound super awesome to me. It was really cool maybe 50 years ago, but I don't know. That's just me. So, Frontierland is out. It's gone.
Wow.
That's. I mean, you said it was frickin' boring.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's
quite the adjective.
Never been interested in the Old West ever in my life. So,
Yeehaw.
well,
So
it's
Pecos Bills,
gone,
Country Bear Jamboree,
gone.
Rivers of
He
America.
must have had a bad experience at the
Drained.
Country Bear Jamboree.
Everyone
I like
has
the
a bad
country- hey,
experience at the Country Fair
don't-
Jamboree.
don't
That is
get me
part
wrong.
Of the show.
Oh, that's good.
it's funny because that's right.
Hey, guess what? We have our show title now.
That's right.
It's part of the
that's
show.
It's part of the show.
Yes.
Well, that's good, Matthew. That was a good answer, but I'm going to tell you why it's wrong.
Why is
Okay.
it wrong? Is it
It's-
because your favorite attraction is there?
It may be partly because my favorite attraction in
Wow.
all of Disney World is Splash
Well,
Mountain. So
unfortunately, Brandon, the top of Splash Mountain is now peeking out the tippy top of the water of Rivers America. So you have to bring a scuba diving suit.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon. Quick question.
yeah.
I want you to tell me why Splash Mountain relates to the Old West.
Uh-oh.
No, because that's a really valid question. Okay? It has absolutely no connection to the Wild West. Okay? You may have some like kind of inappropriate problematic characters, and that does kind of relate to the Old South.
South.
But, like that's it. And that's not even like a Disney connection. Okay?
Yes.
Like, do you have a valid reason?
There are
Why
trees in
not?
the West.
Well, now we're going to throw Tiana in there from New Orleans, and how does that meet the West? Okay, go,
No,
Brandon.
Southwest,
Go.
Southwest New
Mountain's like a
Orleans.
mountain. Splash Mountain's
Brandon.
like a mountain. And we live in Texas, which is like pretty south, okay?
Yep.
And we were driving to somewhere, and my mom was like, "Look, kids, it's the hill country." And I looked at her and I was like, "Where are the hills?" Okay, so there are no mountains in the south. So it doesn't even make sense. Like,
Well, it depends on in the South.
geographically.
What you define as the South.
Well, if
There's
you go from,
mountains
like-
in Virginia.
If you go from like Texas,
There's
like
mountains in
Oklahoma,
Georgia.
Yeah.
Oklahoma across and down, and like
There's
that's
mountains
it.
in
That's south.
Tennessee. There's mountains in Georgia and North Carolina,
Tennessee is like
Kentucky.
Tennessee is like
Kentucky.
Midwest.
It's not Midwest.
This
We've
is
already,
the best.
we've
conversation.
already
The
guys from
established our
California, they're
geography
really
is
from
awesome.
Virginia.
I
and Kentucky's
grew-
in the Midwest now.
I grew up in Tennessee with like the Midwest states, but it's like Mid-East, you know, because it's like the east side. Like on y'all's screen, I'm pointing to like the west, but like for me, I'm pointing to the east.
My favorite part of this conversation is the fact that we're deliberating why Brandon not choosing Frontierland is wrong. Brandon, what's your answer?
Okay, go.
All right. Well, my answer is Tomorrowland because there's
Oh,
not one
boo.
thing tomorrow about it. I mean, it's called Tomorrowland in its current. Let's see. In its current state, it has an empty building. It has an empty building, followed by another empty building.
Right at the entrance.
Right at the entrance, there's another empty building. There's a roller coaster. There's a gas guzzling death trap. And there's the People Mover. So,
Wow.
I mean, I guess the People Mover is awesome, but the rest of the land is just straight garbage in its current state. So Tomorrowland, bye-bye. I mean, you'd gain a lot of warehouse space if you kept it.
Maybe that's what they believe tomorrow will be like.
Maybe.
Tons of empty buildings while everyone's at home on the internet experiencing stuff.
True.
I guess that's a way to. You should work for Disney.
No, speaking
Wow,
of which,
Brandon.
You know what I
Wow.
did the other day? Because I was like really sad. I logged onto Roblox and I spent money on Roblox so that I could play Roblox Disneyland and ride all the rides.
Whose money
love
did you
that.
spend? Whose money did you spend?
I have an iTunes gift card, like really old. It has like
I didn't approve this purchase.
I've only ever used my iTunes gift card for two things. One, to buy the SpongeBob like nose whistle flute as my ringtone, and then to buy Robux to go on Disneyland Roblox because I was just really sad and I didn't want to download Minecraft and join that server. So I was like, this is what I need to do right now, and it was definitely worth it.
We have a second contender for the title of the show, and that is I didn't approve this purchase.
Or the SpongeBob nose whistle
Okay,
flute.
how about so a couple of our knuckleheads have gone. So Mimi, why don't you tell us which of the four lands has to go bye-bye for you?
Adventureland. What even is in Adventureland?
Oh
Jungle
my
Cruise.
gosh.
I mean, but like
Pirates.
okay.
They're talking about a Disney World.
Oh, they're talking about Disney World. Okay, yeah, then Frontierland. Like,
Is it Disneyland?
You can't just
Disneyland,
jump to Frontierland because Matthews.
No,
said
you
Frontier.
guys can do Disneyland. That's fair. I think that's fair.
no,
Yeah.
I just
Well,
I
you had
like-
New Orleans Square in there, so you and Critter Country, and so you have
it's
more
like different, yeah.
places.
I just feel
Right.
like Frontierland again has like two rides, but only one of them actually connects to the Wild West. And I know it's your favorite, but it's just like it's literally just like Matterhorn or like Space Mountain, but like with goats. So it's like I mean, like if I wanted to ride that ride, I could do it anywhere else.
Yes. Okay. So now you got me thinking about Disneyland. Like, I would get rid of Frontierland and Disneyland too, because it's one ride.
Toontown would be the one for me.
No. In
Toontown.
Disneyland, it would definitely be.
Yeah, but that's not a land. It's got to be one of the four. I mean, it's technically a land, but it has to end in the word land.
I see what you're saying.
Star Wars Land.
Okay, we have another show title potential, and that is it's like Space Mountain with a goat.
Done.
Okay, great choice. Troy,
know?
do you want to go or do you want to go last?
I'll go now. I'm going
Okay.
to go with Tomorrowland also. I
Yes.
think,
Wow.
Yes.
I think I agree with everything Brandon said. There's nothing in Tomorrowland that's on my must-do list. I mean, the People Mover I would do just because it's relaxing. I can get the air conditioning. I get great views, but it's not really and there's really nothing. And ever since Push went away, there's nothing that I really want.
We talked
need
about
to
him
see.
earlier.
No, you
All right,
would
I
have
want
so much fun.
I love talking to that little garbage can. It's
It's
like
fun.
it
literally
was
so
fun,
much fun.
but
You would have so much more fun in Tomorrowland if you weren't so boring. like if you did like the if you did the roller coaster, actually you do Space Mountain, but if you did like the ones with the motion sensory and like the heights,
there's
like,
nothing.
you would have more fun.
Brandon just went over it. There's literally nothing there except Space Mountain, and they're building a roller
nothing.
coaster and the Speedway.
Yeah.
You're not boring.
There's
Yeah.
nothing there.
There's nothing there. In Disney World, I know you don't remember Disney World Tomorrowland, but it's not like
I remember.
I would get rid of Disneyland and Disneyland's Tomorrowland too, because I don't need that vomit-inducing Star Tours ride to go on again.
No, but what
and
about Buzz Lightyear?
Buzz.
I'll just do Toy Story Mania and get my fix of that. But
There
yeah,
you go.
Yes.
I think Tomorrowland and Disney World would be my pick.
Wow.
And I mean, I don't know. I think there's other things in the other lands that I really enjoy so much doing. I wouldn't want to not do them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Watch Dave be like Fantasyland just to like even it all out, you know?
I don't know, man.
Get all
No.
I mean, I think Matthew had me pegged with where I was going to go. Okay, so what do we got so far? So we've got Frontierland, Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
I could be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and I know what you're going to pick, and you're going to pick the correct answer.
You're not going to be the tiebreaker, though.
I'm not going to be the tie. You don't think so?
No.
Either way, what?
I don't know. So,
You didn't know what your answer was going to be. That's why you wanted to go last.
100% knew what my answer was, and it's going to absolutely shock Matthew. Are you guys ready?
Do it.
Yes.
Tomorrowland is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Here is my, they had good explanations, but here is my why. Now, Tomorrowland, especially at Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World, has two of my all-time favorite classic attractions. There was a key word in there, classic. Not tomorrow, not future, they're classic. So to me, we can take the Carousel of Progress and put it somewhere else into the park. And I think that, in my opinion, it's in my top 6, I think.
What are you going to put Carousel of Progress in Frontierland?
Yes. Right in the rivers of America.
You dingus.
And then the People Mover needs to be throughout the entire park. It just needs to be a 40-minute ride.
Yeah,
It just needs to go everywhere.
You know, you can just ride the People Mover and
Right.
you know, eat on it. You know, eat and ride the People Mover and watch everyone have fun.
That's right. So we did our Tomorrowland Speedway was last
Isn't
week
that
for
what the
Reimagineering,
train
right?
is?
Right? Did we do that for Reimagineering?
Yeah.
So I said, you guys are right. So I think I started off that with the Tomorrowland Speedway is responsible for the hole in the ozone layer above Central Florida. How are they still pumping that nasty gas through those? Okay, so you got that.
It's really gross.
The whole entrance, we talked about this, the whole entrance to Tomorrowland flanked on either side by rides that aren't attractions that aren't either there anymore or aren't open. Now, it does look like that La Flora is coming back. And then Buzz Lightyear, it's better in all the other parks because the guns come off. It's lame in Disney World. So yeah, I knew I would shock you because I love Tomorrowland, but it's, and Troy and I would have to disagree. I heard him say something. The Space Mountain in every other park in the world is better than at Walt Disney World. I hate that old, and plus it goes upside down in Paris, and then it's the Star Wars. Now it's Star Wars, but I'm just it's smoother. I don't like that I can't see and don't know which way to brace.
The thing is you can there are 2 attractions in Frontierland, and that's it. There's nothing else. You could put them in Adventureland. They both fit in Adventureland. In fact,
Thank you.
I think Splash Mountain fits better in Adventureland than it does in Frontierland.
Yeah, I agree with
They
that.
could just gerrymander the.
If you want to make
know.
that argument, the argument is get rid of Frontierland altogether and make it all Adventureland because just fits better.
Let me tell you,
when you think of the Wild West, if they're having adventures, it's the Wild West adventure.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
That's what it is. It's it's the guns blazing and horseback riding, whatever.
Yeah.
Frontierland can't go away for 2 reasons: Big Thunder Mountain and Pecos Bill, and that's I eat at Pecos Bill every time.
Can't they just put a Chipotle in the park?
Oh, salmonella for everyone. So
Sponsored by Salmonella.
I was thinking about this the other day, and so you talk about what would be maybe a fifth gate in Florida, and I think what would be really cool is some kind of park that is dedicated to specifically the classic rides that either have gone away that they can bring back and put in there, different shows that they can bring back and put in there, or move things like Carousel of Progress or build a new People Mover goes on. So you take those classic rides and you find a home for them for people who really want to do them. So you can bring back Mr. Toad in Disney World at this 5th gate, or you could, bring, Captain EO back and put it in there or stuff like that. So I guess in more of a nostalgia park world would be a cool 5th gate in Florida. They have the room for it. And that way you can free up some of that area to reimagine really what you want to do, and you keep enough of them in the regular lands, to keep people from going, to not leave. But I think that would be. There's so many great things that have been redesigned and have gone. I mean, put bring back the original Captain Nemo, 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and make that. That kind of thing would be really cool in my mind. And that way, you know, like you were saying, like in Tomorrowland where there's this big, you know, what are they going to do? I don't know. Mimi and I were talking about that. I think we even mentioned in one of our episodes where, you know, I wish what they would put in there is some kind of time machine attraction using up-to-date technology where you could go into the future and the past, but it's focused more on where things may be heading. But it's, you know, kind of like a carousel of progress type thing, but it's
Timekeeper. Bring the Timekeeper back with Robin Williams.
Yeah, Tomorrowland, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think Matthew saw that coming for me.
So,
I can't even look at you, Dave.
Well, this was great. Thanks for
was
playing
fun.
along. It was my favorite thing to crush Matthew's dreams. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
personally, I thought it was
Thanks.
really funny because Matthew was getting really angry with his argument, you know, like getting just, you know, kind of feisty, and like his hands were in Dave's like camera, and you could like see his like little like.
I want to see.
I
want
thought that
to.
was really funny.
I want a picture of sad Matthew riding the People Mover with a T-shirt that says "Frontierland must go" or something.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of moping, and he's like, "I was outvoted."
Frontierland is
Oh.
for losers.
Oh, though I was outvoted
what did he
does
say?
not mean
Outvoted
I
is
am wrong.
Freaking boring. Frontierland is
Freaking
freaking
boring.
boring. Right?
It is.
It's like matching shirts that say that, you know.
With the sad
Well-
country bear on it. The sad.
I mean, there was blood. So shameless plug. Like the one thing I will say is, the Rivers of America. I mean, it's just like
So,
it's in the way.
hey, Dave,
Like,
what's it like having no hope for the future but total hope for the Old West?
well, partner, Pilgrim.
It's
Dave
almost.
wants us to go
Listen,
back
it's
to the Old
it's
West.
almold the Old West in Texas.
That's right.
So we'll leave
What's
it there.
old is new again. That's what I'm going with.
Dangerously
It's
close.
kind of like having hope for tomorrow 50 years ago.
It's like, let's fix history, even though it's like already happened. You know, like you can't like can we not go back to the Old West? Like I kind of
They
like
should
having,
just paint it to look like that WandaVision episode, so it really
kind of
is
like-
the future.
I
but
like
you're
having the right to
supporting
vote.
it.
You know, I like being able to vote and like
You can't vote. You're not old enough.
buy a house without a husband. Can we please not go back to the Old West?
Okay, let's not do that.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, but by
Okay,
now,
Shane,
you're
where do
married to
country
someone
bears
out of my
fit
house
into the
and
Old
somebody
West?
else's problem. So there you go.
So shameless plug. We are in next week's Reimagineer It. It is. Wait, will this show be out? Yeah, this show will be out before. Okay. We are reimagineering Tom Sawyer's Island. So that will include some probably sadness and tears for some people when it comes to Rivers of America.
Mm-hmm.
So
There should be
Agreed.
Rush playing in the background. There's my input.
Yes.
Tom Sawyer's Island.
That's
The days
exactly
Tom
what I
Sawyer gets
say.
high on me. Great band. Best drummer of all time.
The thing
Neil
is,
Peart.
like when you said it, it's a good idea, but like when Matthew said it, it was probably like a
It's the
terrible
best
idea
idea.
that
No, it
everyone
was the
like,
best idea.
like hated on.
Matthew and I have a lot of opinions that are very similar.
Yeah, but that
Yes.
Tomorrowland thing is really just kind of.
I love it. She said when Matthew said it, it was terrible. That's my okay. That's the show title.
That's the show title. Oh,
She's
God.
so
Like, all I'm
she's so
saying
good
is-
at making friends.
All I'm saying is like I bet like you know the three of them sat together like talk about their Tom Sawyer episode, and Matthew's like, let's do this, and they all kind of and you know Dave and Brandon were like hating on him like that is a stupid idea, we can't. do
Hey,
this." Like Papa,
were you there?
Well, as it turns out,
Were you there? You must have been there. I'm not kidding you.
As soon as you arrive on the island, they force you into painting with whitewash for an hour before you can leave. You
This
haven't
is
done your
another
hour of
problem, but
whitewashing.
like, yes.
Yep, they were there.
yeah,
Very good.
I love it. Guys, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us again. It's always so much fun to have you. And although we didn't really unpack any of our Disney Plus banter that we typically do, I loved that we played this game because it was just nonstop laughter with you guys.
Yes.
This was fantastic. Please tell our friends where they can find you online, what you guys do every week. Please share with us.
Yeah, so our podcast is a father-daughter podcast, and we talk about Disney every week, obviously. And I'm really bad at explaining what our show is, but you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at Disney Assembled. We also have our website, DisneyAssembled.com, which explains it better than I do.
Yeah, DisneySymbol.com. All our episodes are there. We have our weekly dad jokes that we do and all the places where you can find us. So yeah, come and hang out with us. We'd love to meet more friends. It'd be great.
This was wonderful.
This was super fun.
Thanks guys.
For putting up with
Thanks
us again.
for playing the game with us.
Anytime.
We got so many show titles. We're gonna have a committee to figure out what it's actually gonna be called.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna be able to choose because nobody likes my ideas.
I like your ideas.
Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate that.
Let's see. I'm not going
It's all
to
good.
be.
Thanks guys.
This was awesome.
This was fun.
Have a great one.
Oh man, that was super fun with those guys. We love having Disney assembled on the show. Pick One was a blast. We have not laughed that hard in a long time.
Not.
So it was awesome. I'm glad we discovered that Matthew was wrong.
Well,
anyway.
no, I'm glad we've discovered that I'm the only one in this triangle here that is correct. So
Okay.
yeah.
You can keep believing that. Remember what Mimi said about your ideas. Anyway, Dave, tell the people where they can find us.
Well, they can find us
In the Old West.
It's a great, big, beautiful Yesterland. That's where they can find us. Hey, we would love to connect with you online. You can find us. Best place is Facebook and Instagram, and both of those are at Another Disney Podcast. And of course, what we really want you to utilize is we have a phone number where you can call us or text us anything you want to talk about, anything that you want to say about Matthew and his poor choices when it comes to picking lands to get rid of. That is 757-563-4742. Please text us, call us, and of course, Another Disney Podcast, anotherdispodcast@gmail.com. I think that's it. I mean, you can hang out on our website too, which is just anotherdispodcast.com. Until next time, we'll see you, Tuesday when we literally sink Tom Sawyer's Island?
Oh, weird. We're thinking about the Old West now? What a concept.
And I'm out.